Welcome back to the second session of our collective learning about the Next Generation Science Standards, or NGSS.
Last time, you got to experience an interesting phenomenon as you pretended to be students. You got to observe sound being created as you watched a round black piece of vinyl go in a circle with a pin resting on it attached to a paper cone. The activities you did, trying to make sense of this phenomenon, led you to develop your own questions and ideas for investigations.
We hope it was fun, and that it started to generate some more questions, not just about sound, but about phenomena and question generation in general, and a little bit about what it means to implement NGSS in your own classroom.
Before getting started today, we first want to share with you our excitement about this learning process. As we've visited several classrooms and had conversations with a number of you, we are seeing exciting examples of how these ideas are impacting your instruction.
Some of you have shared with us how your students are feeling a sense of ownership, experiencing what it means to actually be a scientist, and actively contributing to their learning community by helping figure out phenomenon.
Secondly, we want to thank you for the feedback you gave us after the first session. Making future professional development sessions meaningful for you would be impossible without your input. We appreciate the time you took to share your thinking and your questions.
We hope that you will continue to provide us feedback over this and the coming weeks and years as we continue to learn collectively about how our instruction might shift in ways called for by NGSS and how we can shape the professional learning we do as a district to support those shifts.
One thing that we learned from your feedback is that there seems to be a consensus, as well as some excitement, around the idea that using phenomena in our classrooms can be fun, that it can build student engagement, that it helps support equity and access for all students, and that it increases students' sense of ownership and even students' sense of empowerment.
We also seem to have a common understanding that our goal around science at this point is not about shifting the curriculum we have, but rather thinking about the shift in instructional practices to support any curriculum we use.
At the same time, there are certainly questions in your feedback about the future of the science curriculum itself, as there should be. We all can acknowledge that curriculum will also need to shift at some point. The challenge we are facing in District 65, and as a nation, is that few, if any, materials that are available at this time truly meet the NGSS standards. More and more are being developed with time, however, and we expect to review and adopt materials over the next few years with your input.
In the meantime, there's some tools already available to help us start thinking about supporting NGSS shifts with our current curriculum. We encourage you to reference the District Science website as a resource. We envision this as being our collective hub for tools and structures, including ideas for phenomenon. This site also includes an online platform that allows us to connect as a community across the district. In this platform, you can share your thoughts with other teachers, STEM coaches, and the curriculum and instruction team. With your help and feedback, we will continue to grow these resources for the entire district.
We will be working with the various standing committees and CAC over the next 2 to 3 years to examine curricular changes, as well as possible additional tools and classroom structures. If you have thoughts regarding particular tools or structures that you think would be helpful to teachers throughout the district, we ask that you share them with your school science representative so that they can share these with us. We would love to hear your ideas. This will help guide our thinking and planning.
While updates on our science materials are important, they are not being done quickly. They will happen over the coming years. For the time being, we believe that our collective focus this year on the instructional shifts themselves will have the greatest impact on our students.
In your feedback, some of you also stressed the importance of assessment, particularly in creating tools that allow us and students to know whether our students are learning what we want them to learn. We agree that this is a critical piece, and we'd like to work on creating this over time.
Our current goal is to keep our work focused and manageable for you, so there are no new tests or new science materials at this time. We primarily want to be able to give you space in this workshop and over this year to continue to experiment with instruction that is phenomena-grounded, question-based, and student-driven.
And once again, we recognize that this work is probably not going to be easy. We recognize that adopting NGSS is not something that happens overnight. All of this is going to take time for us to learn together, and that's okay.
So once again, please continue to have fun. Let yourself be curious. Let your students explore, And please know that no one expects this to go perfectly. Learning is messy as it is fun.
Finally, thank you once again for your feedback. Please continue sharing your ideas and questions. It is your own inquisitiveness and dedication, not ours, that will make this a success for our students.
Enjoy your afternoon learning about science instruction, and thank you very much.